Hello everyone, how's it going? It is me, Jack here, and welcome to episode number 8, the season finale of season 1 here in the Bolton Wanderers Football Manager Save. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a repeat of episode 5 as we play Shrewsbury Town and Wigan Athletic in the final 2 league games of the season. Straight away then, the league table after the results from the previous fixtures were 2 games away from the end of the season and 2 points behind Stockport County, 3 behind Wycombe, 4 behind Wrexham and 5 behind Huddersfield Town. The promotion places are pretty much confirmed: Leyton Orient and Birmingham City, barring a massive goal difference swing. However, no one behind us can get in there. We have destiny in our own hands. Hopefully 2 victories would be enough to give us that platform to get into the playoffs. Wycombe Wanderers have Exeter and Northampton Town in their final 2 league games. Stockport County have got Peterborough and have to play Birmingham City, which could help us. Wrexham have Burton and Mansfield Town. Just to show you the relegation picture, Northampton and Bristol Rovers are battling with Rotherham, Blackpool and Crawley in those survival positions, and Huddersfield Town, who can still drop out of the playoffs, are playing 2 dead rubbers against Charlton and Blackpool. Well, Blackpool isn't a dead rubber really, because they're trying to survive. However, since the last episode, we've only played a couple of matches because obviously we played Cambridge and Wycombe. Mansfield and Cambridge. We beat Wycombe by 2-1, thanks to a very late winner by Joe Randall. Then we beat Exeter City just by 1-0, thanks to Delano Bergsorg. And then just now we've lost to managerless Barnsley by 2-0, where really we created nothing. And since the last episode, we've been hit by a whole stream of injuries, season-ending injuries, unfortunately, as well. Victor Anabayejo is out for 4 weeks, so his season is over. With an impressive 16 goals this season, the striker will play no further part in the season. Our other striker, John McAtee, is out for 2 to 5 weeks, so he will probably be out. And Sean, the backup winger, is out for 4 weeks as well. So a big blow to the striking position, as we've lacked goals, considering our good form. We've lacked loads and loads of goals, so Randall's going to come in at left wing and Delano Bergsorg will be up front. I saw this stupid article that described the game as El Sakiko for Bloomfield, the manager of Shrewsbury Town, and me. I don't know why we're describing it as that, because you look at the dynamics, we're very, very good. Yes, they're disappointed with playoffs. However, I still think even if we finish 7th, I would be happy with that. Fingers crossed. They will be. Anyways, this is going to be the side we'll play today. Baxter will be in goal. Back 4 of Matheson, Toll, Forrester and Asay Tutu. Thomason will start at CDM with Benassi and an inconsistent Sheehan after we praised him so much earlier in the season. He's got a little bit inconsistent, but he'll start at centre mid today, as he's obviously one of our better players. Collins on the right. 25 goals this season for him. Amazing. Randall on the left and Delano Bergsorg up front. You might be thinking, why aren't you starting Keon Ateti? Well, apart from this 10 rating he got, to try and boost his morale, he's just been really poor. Really, really poor. So he's there to come off the bench. However, I would not be happy really going into a playoff position with him as our striker. Let's try and make the advantage count today as we play this game. Obviously, we've already played Shrewsbury and Wigan on camera, and we beat Shrewsbury, I think, by 3-1, but we lost to Wigan. However, we know that 2 victories, we have to get 6 points out of these games. We could, by looking at the league table, get a win, Stockport lose, and then maybe not have to win both. But I just feel like we have to get 3 points in both of these games if we want to stand a chance, and we've got to continue the positive form that we have been on. That Barnsley game was a little bit of a random blip. However, we've got to keep going. We've got to keep the consistent side going, and we've got to keep getting 3 points. Immediately there's a highlight. Benassi to Collins, and that is a brilliant start. However, the linesman has his flag up, and the goal's been disallowed, but we couldn't have asked for any better of a start than that. I don't really want to track the results all too much, so we'll just continue forward with this game. Shrewsbury Town, if we look at the league table, are relegated. They've had a bit of a disappointing season, to say the least. So they've got nothing to play apart from trying to play for pride as they have to regroup in League 2 next season, as Delano Bergzorg gives us our second goal of the game. However, this one will count. Delano Bergzorg, a big decision at that striker position today. Did we go with a Teti and put Bergzorg on the left? But I decided he got the only goal of the game against Exeter. Could he get the only goal of the game today? And he absolutely has done. We don't need to see that again. It looked like one of our players was offside, but he wasn't affecting the build-up. And we make it 1-0. Brilliant. And we could get a second as well, as Thomason starts the play from a corner, puts it in. Bergzorg picks up the loose ball. Back to Thomason. Randall looks like he was going to open fire there, but finds Forrester, who beats his man and slots in a brilliant goal. A striker's finish from the centre-back. And Will Forrester gets his first goal of the season. You wouldn't think he only had 6 finishing, the way he caressed that ball into the corner. It did take a little deflection here, but their right back Benning has been absolutely done. It looked like it just took a deflection off Hewell and went into the back of the net. 2 up. It's the perfect start really in this game, all we could ask for. But you still expect Shrewsbury Town to come out fighting here now, and Hewell shoots, but the ball fails to affect Baxter, and the scoreline remains 2-0. They're playing this really defensive 5 at the back. I've noticed a lot of the AI teams do play this system in League 1. I don't know why, but a lot of them seem to be. We're dominating this game, which is brilliant. It's exactly what we needed to do today. It would have been annoying if we'd have scrappily got something, but the fact that we've had creative chances and we're dominating the game, and players like Randall and Sheehan are doing well as in this game, is brilliant momentum to finish off the season. We lead by 2-0. We're having loads of shots so far, so I'm really happy. This result takes us into the playoffs as the other teams aren't playing, so it's all about just getting as many goals as we can now and extending our goal differences. You never know, that could be critical. I know we've got a higher goal difference than Wycombe, but other teams around us have got a slightly higher goal difference, which is obviously hard for us. And I noticed the points. I think it's a lot of points this season to get into the playoffs. It's the high 70s to get into it. Sometimes you only need like low 70s. I think in League 1 this season, the points tally wasn't as big, or it was the Championship wasn't as big. You're going to need something like 80 points to get into the playoffs here. However, in League 1, in real life, you've only needed, to be fair, you needed 78 points in League 1, actually, this season. Leighton Orient, I'm just checking my phone, Leighton Orient got that this season. They got 78 points and they finished 6th. But the Championship, you only needed 68 points to get into it, which is crazy. And anyway, as I'm rambling on here, Collins is stepping up to take a penalty and he gets a goal. I know he was really poor against Barnsley, as we all were, but Collins played brilliantly the game before that, getting a goal. And he's got his 26th of the season. Fantastic stuff. Where does that put him, actually? In the League 1 top scorers chart. He's not actually in there because he's got goals in other competitions, but yet could still finish top scorer if he was to get a few more goals today, which would be great. But 3-0 up, we are looking comfortable and cruising now as Randall connects with the header and makes it 4, Bolton 4, Shrewsbury Town 0. We are decimating the already relegated side today. And we are 4-0 up. Wycombe are 1-1 against Exeter. We would hope that scoreline stays the same, or even better still, Exeter could get a goal. And who do have a goal is Wycombe, as they're 2-1 up, and Shrewsbury get one back as well through Oliver. The header connecting well there, and they get themselves back into it. Dominic Gape with the assist, but Wycombe get a goal back, which perplexes them up to 3rd in the table. Wrexham they're winning by 2-0 as well. So the pressure's on the teams behind us now. Is it Stockport County we've displaced in the playoffs? So they've got to go and get something in this game. It's really weird the way this schedule's played out, because we've ended up having to play like Wednesday, Saturday for the final 2 games. Yet we had a 10-day gap before this game, so it would have made sense for us to play this game on the Saturday, have the week break, but instead no, we're cramming in the final 2 games of the season, and had a massive extended break. But what's not great is them getting a second goal in this match. However, they haven't. And we'll continue on. Let's just take off Owen Toll for Farino, just because you never know what could happen. Owen Toll's the type of centre-back who will get himself sent off, and then if we do end up in the playoffs, we'll end up being suspended for them. Let's bring on Dempsey. Just tell the boys there's no pressure at all now, because we look like very comfortable in this game. It is Stockport behind us, so I don't know. I can't remember who they're playing, but they've got to get at least a point in order to jump ahead of us in the league. Can we get a fifth in this game? Luke Matherson puts it through. Sheehan's there. Would have been great to have got him another goal for this season, but he hasn't managed to do so, and it's the reason actually I took Benassi off. I'm keeping Sheehan on so he can try and get a good amount of play time and a good bit of form. Bolton are on 27 goal difference. Stockport behind us are on 26. So it could all end up going down to goal difference in the final few stages. Let's just take off. No, we'll take off Tom. Actually, do you know what? Thomason as well was a little bit inconsistent, and we rotated him and Matete quite a lot. However, let's just keep it like this now between now and the end of the game, because as we get to the final whistle, there's no more highlights, and we win that game comfortably by 4-1. That is a much, much better performance than the game against Barnsley. Barnsley had nothing to play for yet, dominated us. However, the big thing is we've got into the playoffs now with that game and that victory. Yes, Wycombe and Wrexham have won as well, but we've done our bit. Wrexham are confirmed in the playoffs. However, we've still got one final game to go where hopefully we can end up sneaking into it. Forgot to mention it as well, actually, just as I'm advancing through here. We had our youth report, and we had a really, really decent one, actually. Michael McDonald is a central defender who's coming through the academy. 1.5 star current ability, nearly 5-star potential. Darren Kelly, bit better current ability. Looks like he could be a great right winger, actually. So we'll keep an eye on his development. Derry Affleck is potentially the best player at only 15 years of age. Could play up front or could play as a player on the left-hand side. So one for the future. And Jeremiah Owusu, again, another player that's got ability right now to potentially play in non-league. So we might be giving him a loan spell. And one other player as well, actually, is Jamie O'Neill. Very, very vibrant hairstyle, but looks like could be a really good, maybe cam rather than a striker, because he's only got 8 finishing. But there is some players to definitely look at there. I'll continue advancing and show you what this result is. Stockport are playing Peterborough. If they lose, they are outside the playoffs. If they draw, they go back it. Actually, no, they won't go back into it because their goal difference is 1 behind us. Huddersfield play Blackpool away, so ideally we want them to go into it as well. Let's see what the result's going to be. Stockport will get a 91st minute winner. However, Huddersfield Town have lost. So in the final game of the season, then we could still finish as high as 4th. Stockport win just against Peterborough. Huddersfield lose. So their form going into it is really good up until that defeat there. However, it's going to be a very tense, nervy game. And let's get into it right now. It's match day. We've arrived at Wigan Athletics ground to play them in this Greater Manchester derby to round out the season. We're going to go and change for the final fixture, and the same with the bench as well. I'm just going to get straight into it because I just want to get this over with. Of course, we're going to be feeling nervous, but we know a victory could be enough to get us into the playoffs, hoping results go our way. We want to get revenge over Wigan as well, because if you remember, it's a female manager, Helena Costa there is the manager, and she beat us by 1-0. And if you remember back to episode 5 when we played them, we dominated the game and they just one counter-attack broke and got the victory. And we'll kick ourselves if we end up getting out the playoffs. We lose a playoff place by a point, because it's games like that where we should have ended up getting in. Wigan have got nothing to play for, but they know this is a massive fixture. They want to stop us from getting into the playoffs, but we want to get into there on this final game of the season. All we need to do is focus on what we can do and pray results go our way. Hungbo passes the ball to Chambers. A bad touch from him finds Luke Matherson. I've just renewed his contract, actually, because he's only on about £1,500 a week, and I think they'll give him an extra 2 years, which is what he deserves, because yes, he's had, like a lot of players, had a bit of an inconsistency. He's had a really great start, dropped off a little bit, but has picked it up again, and I think, depending on where we're going to be, League One or Championship next season, he has deserved, I think, that opportunity for an extended contract as Hungbo's effort is deflected. And the ball is headed forward by Jason Kerr, but we get it back through Bergsorg. Let's just calm down. It's only 2 minutes in. And just focus on what we can do. We are 2 points behind, so a draw is not going to be good enough right now. We have got to get a victory. A C2-2 to Randall. Let's see if we can carve out an opening in the 14th minute. Luke Matherson running inside, finds a brilliant ball to Josh Sheehan, who finds Collins. Collins, what an effort that is. He has put the roof off that net through that strike. Sam Tickle has been defeated inside 14 minutes, and Aaron Collins, the star of this Bolton Wanderers side, gives us the lead, and we know that is massive as it leapfrogs us into the playoffs, and Stockport County will drop out on the final game of the season. Let's pause and just see here. We've got a number of their players who are looking a little bit jaded, Rankin and Taylor, so we'll continue to play how we are playing. They've had the better start in the opening half an hour of the game. However, the scoreline reads differently. Randall with the ball at his feet. Could he play a forward pass? He finds Benassi, who finds Collins. Collins to a C2-2. Drive into the box. Someone great passing, but let's drive it forward. Benassi, Sheehan, brilliant ball. Josh Sheehan again, and it's Aaron Collins who makes it 2. A perfectly brilliant link-up play between the two of them again. And Aaron Collins gets his second goal of this game. Helen Acosta in her press conference said, "I haven't got the ambition," she said, as she played mind games. Well, I look ambitious now as we're 2-0 up here at this stadium, but let's hopefully not lose it now as we are 2-0 up. Luke Matherson picks up the ball, finds Aaron Collins. Imagine if he could get a first half hat-trick. That would be sensational. Brilliant ball from Owen Toll to Randall. Randall finds a C2-2 who can now drive forward with it. Back to Randall. Delano Bergsorg into the box. Finds a C2-2. It's pin ball passing. Randall Sheehan. The ball's deflected. And the corner is conceded by Jason Kerr. 37 minutes in. We could kill off this game. Imagine going into the first half 3-0 up. It would be fantastic. Birmingham lead against Stockport. So it's Birmingham City that are doing us the favour. They've got nothing to play for. They're promoted. They can't be champions yet. They're doing us a massive favour in this fight for promotion. And actually, because of results, we're going up to 4th. Wickham. Let's have a look at this. Wickham are losing to Northampton. Huddersfield Town. I can't even see it. Huddersfield Town are drawn against Charlton. Everyone is losing at the minute. Even Wrexham are drawing 0-0. So at the minute, we won't be getting 6th. We'll be finishing 4th. I'm saying, what a 45 minutes that is. We've blown them away. Let's just keep positive with things, and we will take off that league table for now because that's got me too excited. We won't inform the boys where we currently are in the league table because we don't want to lose their concentration, their focus going into this second half. But I'm very excited seeing that league table at this moment in time. Collins to Josh Sheehan. Sheehan's through. Sheehan hits the bar. He is offside. However, again, Wigan Athletic, that 5 at the back system that the AI seems to be playing against us is just a bit ineffective, really. 65th minute mark. Thomason is on that usual 6.5 rating, so we'll bring on Matette just as a super sub for now to give us some fresh impetus at that defensive midfield position. And I think everyone else is having a really, really cracking game, so we'll just play this out a little bit longer. Bergsorg's just dropped to a 6.6. However, if we do end up with a playoff place, he's going to be the man hopefully up front for us. Let's take off Benassi for Dempsey, and we'll keep on everyone else for now. However, I think we're getting closer to the victory. Let's just have a look around the grounds. We're still 5th at the minute, so someone's doing well. We'll drop it down to cautious, and we'll take off Randall for Mendes Gomez, and we'll give Keon Ateti just a couple of minutes to see if he can make a difference and do something for us. As there's still time, Sam Cosgrove has made it Birmingham 2, Stockport County 1. I'm not going to look at the league table for now. Wickham are losing, which is big. It's big for us. And Stockport losing as well is the current reason why we're 6th. So I think Wrexham must be winning against Mansfield as Chambers puts it in. Hungbo has been denied through a brilliant stop by Nathan Baxter. He's been much more consistent as of late, hence why he's been our number one keeper again after that pretty inconsistent patch earlier on in the year. Mendes Gomez will pick up the loose ball from that corner kick and just plays it behind him. And I think that's going to be it. So we have won against Wigan. Fantastic. What I'm just going to say, I'm very happy. I don't know where it means. Please, are we in the playoffs? We are. Next episode, the playoff position. Stockport County have bottled it. They were like third for quite a bit of time, you know. They were in the playoffs for a long time. But they are out, and it's going to be Huddersfield Town in the next round. The playoff semi-final, first and second leg will come next time out. But for now, we have done what we needed to do. The club vision, the club are happy. Didn't look like it, but they're happy that they are in the playoffs. You wouldn't think, would you, if I showed you that screen at the end of the first season, that I've had a board meeting to discuss my future? You wouldn't believe it. 81 points was enough to get into the playoffs, and we've managed to do that. Wrexham will play Wycombe. I'm intrigued. How have we got on against Huddersfield this season? Because I actually can't remember. We beat them 5-3 at home, and away from home we've lost 2-0. So if that was to happen again, it would be 5-all on aggregate, and we go to extra time. However, next episode you'll see the playoff semi-finals and the final if we get in there. But for now, I'm just pleased we've done what we needed to do. We've ended up, the season has been full of highs and lows. Haven't dropped as low as 9th, but it was during this time where the board were getting on our backs, the fans were getting on our backs, and they weren't happy with the progress we were making. However, you've got to look at Stockport County. Oh, I thought they were up here, Stockport County, for quite a bit. They weren't, but they've dropped out right at the death. Huddersfield Town, Wycombe, Bolton, you can see the trajectory there. Look at this. Who's this? Huddersfield Town. Who is that purple line there? That's Wycombe. Wycombe, who have nearly dropped out of it, even though they were in it for so long. Very, very close to dropping out of it as they were defeated by 4-2. Arguably, I'd say, if I just look here, I think us and Wrexham have got the best form going into the playoffs, and that's exactly what you want. Last 5 games, let's take a look. Yeah, it's literally us and Wrexham. So it's all to play for. I think anybody can beat anyone. The League One playoffs comes in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I'll catch you for those daring playoffs very, very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.